Okay, Bismillah. This, you guys, today, inshallah, we have a quick revision on integration by parts. An integration by parts simply is the integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. Okay, the integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. And the way to choose the u using this order, Latte or Lipit. So Latte, L-I-A-T-E, means logs and inverse trig functions and algebraic expressions. A represents algebraic expressions and T represents the trig functions like sine and cosine and tan and cotangent and so on, and exponential then, finally. Okay, finally exponential. Yes. It's all here the most important question, which is the integral of e to the power of x cosine x. We already solved this question before, but revise how to solve. Firstly, we will let here u as what, guys, because we have e to the power of x and cosine x, so we can let u here. We can let the u as what? That one page.
كأنه هذا اللايت غير عن اللي كنا ناخده من قبل.
Yes, like it or let's say the same. Okay. So like it's L-I.
Here they put the exponential.
Yes, yes. L-I-P. Yes. L-I-P. E-T.
Yes.
So.
And up they have the trigger before.
Inverse P polynomials or algebraic expression and the E exponential and then T.
Up the trigger and exponential are.
Yeah, the trig comes first. No. So let's do it here. It works also. Right. The integral of e to the power of x cosine x. So let's solve in this word. So the u is integration by parts, since we have here a product of two functions. So the u is equal to
e power x.
E to the power of x, and the du is equal to
e power
e
x
to the power of x dx. Then make like this, and then find the dv. The dv is the other part of the question. Okay, which is cosine x dx. Then integrate both sides here.
V.
So we have v is equal to the integral of cosine x dx.
Sine x.
Integral of cosine x dx, which is sine x. So we integrate one part and find the derivative of the other part, the derivative of u and the integral of v, of dv. And now we can write now the formula for integration by parts. Integration by parts says that the integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. So it's equal to, the u now is e to the power of x multiplied by v, which is sine x, and then minus the integral again of v, which is sine x, multiplied by du, which is e to the power of x dx. Okay, the first part is very easy. Leave it the same, e to the power of sine x, but the second part here, e to the power of x sine x. So in this question, we're gonna do it again. We will use by parts again. So we will let u as e to the power of x, and du is the same e to the power of x dx. And again here, the dv is the other part, which is now sine x dx. And integrate, gonna give us v equal, what's the integral of sine is negative cosine x. So substitute here, we have e to the power of x sine x. And for this part, sine x e to the power of x, we can use by parts. And we have minus uv. What's the u is e, and the v is negative cosine x. So it now e to the power of x cosine x. Then minus negative is what? Positive. And the v is negative, so stay negative again. Okay, set it negative again, and then cosine x e to the power of x. So we can make the cosine here and the e to the power of x here, du. This all, don't forget, that is equal to e to the power of x cosine x dx. And simply we know the idea of this question, that we will move
this side, we will move this side, the integral of e to the power of x cosine x, to the other side and add it to the left-hand side. So we have the integral of e to the power of x cosine x dx is equal e to the power of x sine x plus e to the power of x cosine what x. And finally, the integral of e to the power of x cosine x dx will equal to fraction in e to the power of x sine x plus e to the power of x cosine x, and this all over what? 2. Okay, this is the answer of this question plus what? The C. Okay. So, okay, guys, this kind of questions is very, very important when we have e to the power of x cosine x. This is the first. Sometimes we have a question like this, and we said before we have to what, guys? To write this x as 2 parts. This x as what? X and x. This x squared can be written as x and the x root x minus 1 dx. So we will take u as what, guys, here? We'll take u as x. Okay, because it's 2 algebraic expressions. The first one is x, and the second one here is x root x minus 1. Yes. So the du is equal to dx, and the other part, the dv, is equal to, yes, x root x minus 1 dx. Listen carefully, guys. If we integrate both sides, in the left side we're gonna get v, and then the other side we should use u substitution, right? Yes. If we use u substitution.
Yes, Mr.
Yes. X minus 1 is equal to what? U. And then what is how to integrate here x root x minus 1?
We solve for x to substitute with x also.
And we can write it as the integral of what? Solve for x. How solve for x?
U equal x minus 1, and then u plus 1 equal x. This is what I mean.
Let's name it what? Z مثلا. عشان بس في u in the question. Z equal x minus 1. And then the dz is equal to 1 dx. Okay? And to solve for x equals z plus 1. You mean like this, right? And
Yes.
then equal to z plus 1 into root z. And then, guys, you know, multiply z power half by z and by 1. So it's z to the power of 3 over 2 plus z to the power of half. And find its integral عادي, which is 5 over 2 will be 2 over 5 z to the power of 5 over 2 plus 2 over 3 here, z to the power of 3 over 2 by adding 1 okay. So the u minus v, uv minus the integral of v du by parts. The u here is what? Is x, and the v now, this all is the v. Yes, but let's write it, guys, in terms of x. Okay, what's the z? Z is x minus 1. So we have 2 over 5 into x minus 1, and this all to the power of 5 over 2. And then the minus the integral of, again, 2 over 5, write it like this, and the integral of what, guys? X minus 1 to the power of 5 over 2 plus, I think that I forgot here. Yes, here plus 2 over 3 z. 2 over 3 times what? Times x minus 1, which is the z to the power of 3 over 2. So it should be here also x. And then complete, guys, by integrating again x minus 1 to the power of 3 over 2 and complete integrating this one. So this is the idea of this question. When we have two algebraic expressions or two polynomials, and we would like to solve the question by parts. Then inverse also. What's the u, guys, here? And what's the v? Lipet. So it's inverse here. So the u is tan inverse. Okay? And the dv is equal to 1 dx. So the v equal to x by integrating. And here, what's the derivative of tan inverse? The integral is 1 over a squared. Yeah, we have it, so only 1. So it's 1 plus x squared. And then برضه use uv minus the integral of v du. Also, this question important. Here, number 1 and 3 here. Let's solve 3, for example. Who can solve as a practice of integration by parts? Yes. We let u here is equal to what?
X squared.
Sure, x squared, and its derivative is 2x dx.
2x. Yes.
Yes. And the other part dv equal
EX.
e to the power of x.
And v equal
v
EX.
is ex. Okay. Yes, yes. It is the integral. Nice. So uv minus the integral of v du, and then substitute in this formula. Easy here, right? I will not complete. You know how to complete. Allah. Yes, yalla. X squared, which is the u, times the v e to the power of x minus the integral of v, which is e to the power of x times
2x.
what here? 2x times 2x. Let's write here x in here. Yes. X again, which is the same as the question here, مثلا. So we can make table, guys. Table as
Yes, table is
d over dx, and here what's the integral. So from the beginning, write here x squared and here e to the power of x. And in the first column, differentiate until you get 0. Okay, and then the other column, integrate, and the integral of e power x is the same. Okay. Yes, and then substitute, so it's better.
Positive, negative.
Make what? The arrows, and positive, and then negative, and then positive. So x squared e to the power of x with a positive sign, minus now 2x e to the power of x, and then now plus 2e to the power of x plus c in one step only, plus c. Okay? One step, okay? Yes. X sine 3x, if it's here like this, guys, make table here. And write here d over dx, and here the integral, and write here the algebraic expression as u, and differentiate it until you get 0. We know طبعا it's 1 and then 0. Okay. And then the other one here, sine 3x. When we integrate sine 3x, and I give us negative cosine 3x over 3. And when we integrate it one more time, gives a negative sine 3x over 9. Okay, and then draw your arrows like this, in this way, and use positive and then negative O's, and write your final answer. The final answer, please pay attention. Equal x times negative third, equal negative third, cosine 3x times x. Right? So put the x here like this. And next, negative is positive. 1 over 9 sine 3x plus the c. Yes. Easy.
Shouldn't it be positive?
Which one positive? Negative is positive. Yes, this one I said positive, but I wrote it negative. Now, so x ln x, can we use the table here also? D over dx, and here the integral. We let here x, and its derivative is 1, or one more time is 0. The integral of ln x, we know the integral of 1x, ln x, it's integral. Oh, you forgot, guys. بس you have to know that the integral of ln x only, the x is equal to x ln x minus x. X ln x minus x plus c. And we proved this one before. Yes, no time yet to do it, but you can do it by parts also. You will let ln x as u and the dx, 1 dx as dv, and integrate both sides so that v is equal to x and uv minus v du. Okay, but take it as this, guys, here, ln a, x ln x minus x plus c. So we will let here the u. Which one, guys, comes first in the word like IPET? So ln or log, yes. So the u should be ln x, and its derivative is 1 over x. Derivative of ln x 1 over x, and the dv is equal to then the x dx. So the integral of here is v, and the integral of the right hand side gives x squared over 2, and then write the formula uv minus the integral of v du. The u is 1 over x, sorry, ln x, and the v is that half x squared. So it's better, guys, to write x squared first and ln x. Okay, minus the integral of v. Yes, it's better to write the half also as a constant, and then the integral of x squared du. The du here is equal to what? 1 over x dx. 1 over x times dx. Yes, cancel out the x with the x, and finally we have 1 over 2x squared ln x minus 1 over 2. The integral of x is also again 1 over 2x squared plus c. Final step is half x squared ln x minus quarter x squared plus c. Okay, yeah, that's all for this question. So when you have algebraic expression and ln, do not be able to use the Tipler way. Yes. Yes, 7.3 here. If you remember, guys, when we have sine raised to a power of n or cosine raised to the power of n, you have to prepare these two rules before the test. Yeah, you will use negative 1 over n sine n minus 1 x cosine x, and n minus 1 over n integral of sine n minus 2 x dx. And cosine, as you see here, I will not read the rules here. The rules here. Let's solve one question like cosine to the power of 4. We already solved this question before, but let's solve it again. Yes, how to find the value of cosine to the power of 4. And I think that Galco had a question in the quiz, the mid test. How to find it, guys? We have to follow this rule. Cosine, the integral of cosine to the power of n x dx is equal to. شوف انا مش عارف هطلع فوق 1 over n cosine n minus 1 sin x minus 1 over n. Yes, yes. Write the rule 1 over n, and then cosine n minus 1 over x sin x. Okay, and then plus n minus 1 over n. Yes, plus n minus 1 over n, the integral of cosine n minus 2 of x dx. So it's a rule, and we have to best substitute how 4 for n, because the n here is 4. So plug in 4 for every n in the question. So it's the cosine to the power of 4 x dx is equal to 1 over 4. With me, guys, cosine 4 minus 1 is a 3x sine x, plus 4 minus 1 is a 3 over 4, because n is 4. Integral of cosine 4 minus 2 is 2 x dx. So everything the same here. 1 over 4 cosine cube x sine x plus 3 over 4, and the integral here of cosine to the power of 2. Yes, we have to stop here and think of an identity that gonna help us to finish this integral quickly and easily. Yeah, it's integral. Replace cosine squared by half plus half cosine 2x dx. Okay, so this is an identity which is equivalent to cosine to the power of 2x. So it's equal to 1 cosine to the power of 3x sine x plus 3 over 4 times 1/2. And I give us 3 over 8x على طول بقى تمام plus 3 over 8 sine 2x divided by 2. So this is gonna be 16 plus c. So this is how to find your what integral. Okay, so here's 7.3, integrating the trigonometric functions. Sine to the power of 4, the same. Fine. Integrating the products of sine and cosine, like sine to the power of 4, cosine to the power of 5x. Yes, as you see, guys, here we have to check first the exponent of sine, which is here m, and the exponent of cosine, which is n. Since n is odd and the exponent of cosine is even, the exponent of cosine is odd here and then even, so we can split off here the cosine into two parts of the product of two cosines, sine 4 or cosine. Sine 4 is 1 minus sine squared the x to the power of what? To the power of 2. Why, Mr.? Why minus 1 minus sine squared? Because it's a cosine squared. Okay, cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared, all squared. This is very, very, very important to what? To let here the u as, to let u sine x and du is cosine x dx, and then dx is du over cosine x, and replace every sine by u, and then integrate. So here's this question. Please revise this topic. Important. Next question, sine 4, cosine 4. So both of them are even exponents. So since we have two even exponents here, so we have to split both of them. Split both of them. Sine to the power of 4 can be written as sine to the power of 2 all to the power of 2, and cosine squared all to the power of 2. And write here the equivalent or the relevant identity for sine squared as half minus half cosine 2x, and cosine squared as half into 1 plus cosine 2x. You know why? Because I'm gonna square the halves and multiply them all together. Outside is 1 over 16. Quarter and quarter, their product is 1 over 16. Multiplying 1 minus cosine 2x by 1 plus cosine 2x gives 1 minus cosine squared 2x, the difference of two squares, so all squared. And I replaced this identity 1 minus cosine squared 2x as sine squared 2x. And I squared it, which is sine to the power of 4 2x. And then we moved back to our what? Formula. Our formula, sine to the power of nx is equal to negative 1 over n sine to the power of n minus 1 cosine x, and then minus n minus 1 over n integral of sine n minus 2 dx, x dx. And then finish your question. Very, very important what topic. Okay, so this is the question. I'm gonna also send for you guys this file. Yes.
هترجع
Or
فوق
you will
شوي.
find it in the WhatsApps. Yes.
لا فوق كمان. يصير كمان فوق.
Here.
I want to know from where did we bring the half?
The half, which half? You know that cosine squared is half minus half cosine 2x, and the cosine squared, or cosine squared x is half plus half cosine 2x. But I wrote it as half into 1 plus cosine 2x
Yes.
because
Okay.
I'd like to take this half will be quarter because there is a square here and a square here. So quarter times quarter is 1 over 16 outside the integral as a constant. We're multiplying 1 minus something multiplied by 1 plus the same thing gives here the difference of two squares. 1 minus cosine squared and complete.
Yes, I get it.
Do you have any question, guys? Yes, here is also the product of tan and sec and cotan. Yes, here's the table, guys. And here's the answers. I promise you to revise this. If you have any question, contact me via WhatsApp or anything else. So yesterday we revised the area and the partial fraction. We revised today. Yesterday also the trig substitution. Today أخذنا الباي parts and integration by parts. So أخذنا integrating trigonometric functions 7.2, 7.3. Okay. Yes. Now your time, guys. If you have any question, I'm ready. Would like to ask me about anything, guys? I'm ready. Yes. You will find all these files, guys, also in the view class. So you can download them and study from them. Those guys with you, you are smart students. Inshallah, good luck in your life, guys. And see you, inshallah, in good health. Yeah, guys, do you have any question?
No, Mr. Thank you.
Welcome.